Well, guys, thanks for joining me. As you can see, I'm in a different vehicle today. This is my 2024 Chevy Colorado. Actually, I did trade in the Jeep. I needed something just a little bit bigger. The Jeep was a two-door. It done me really well. I just needed something bigger. And also, the positive note is it will help me tow the Mustang. So that's a great thing. If you're new to the channel and you click the video just because of the Colorado, I hope you'll stick around. Maybe you'll subscribe. I do have a Mustang, so if you're just a Chevy fan, that may not be your thing because I do have a Ford Mustang as well, and it's on the channel quite a bit. But I will actually end up doing some things to the Colorado along the way. I do plan on taking it off-roading because I do enjoy that type of thing. But anyways, so I wanted to compare the Jeep Wrangler to the Chevy Colorado. What's my thoughts so far? Well, I will say that honestly, it's been great. I mean, I've had it for 1,200 miles now, about almost 2 weeks. I've taken it to a foresty type, a little bit off-road type trail. Nothing really as much as I put the Jeep through, but I do think that it will do just as well. The tires will probably be the biggest holdback. It did come with some all-terrain tires, not anywhere near to what the Falcon 35-inch tires that the Jeep had on it. Maybe one day we'll get to that point. Right now, though, I'm happy with what it came with. It did come with 20-inch wheels. To me, for an off-roading type vehicle, that's a little bit too big. Now, I will say that I think in diameter, they're equivalent to 33-inch tires, especially being the all-terrains. But again, you just don't have as much sidewall. So I think for off-roading, that type of look, or just trying, a little bit more, just being off-road, you need a little bit more sidewall. But anyways, there's a lot more features, of course, in this vehicle than being in an 09 Wrangler. My Wrangler was very basic. It was a soft top. So that is one thing you're giving up. If you like the thought of having your top off or the doors off, that is something that you cannot do in this Colorado. Gas mileage, though, is a big plus. Right now, as we drive, I'm getting 20 miles per gallon. I average somewhere between 20 to 22 on the highway. Now, in the Jeep, I was getting lucky to get 12 or 13 miles per gallon, and that was in a two-door, but it was a V6. The Colorado is, as some may know, it's a four-cylinder turbo. It's a 2.7 liter, though, so it's rather large, being a four-cylinder. The power output, it's pretty impressive. Again, for a four-cylinder turbo, it's 310 horsepower, 430 foot-pounds of torque. Towing capacity is right at 7,700 pounds. Again, that'll be enough to tow my Mustang in a trailer. That's really all I needed it for. I wanted something a little bit more nimble than, say, a full-size or half-ton truck, like a Silverado or F-150. But I still wanted to be able to tow. 5-foot bed's plenty for me for what I'll be doing. I don't really carry, I just carry off some trash and some other little small things. That's really nice to be able to do. I hadn't been able to do that before. So having that option is going to be super nice. Now, I will say that, everything else as so far has been really good quality. The quality overall has been good. I mean, as you can hear, there isn't much road noise. I've never owned a truck before, so I really can't speak to that. I mean, but I have ridden in other trucks, and I will say the other trucks I've ridden in has been much louder. There's not a lot of road noise in this truck. It's very soft, very compliant on the highway. The ride is very good. So I have no complaints. But if you're in the market for a mid-sized truck, I would look at the Colorado. I mean, of course, there's the Tacoma, there is the Ranger. You'll have to watch some videos on those vehicles. I watched quite a few before I made my decision. I will say, like, if you're getting something comparable of a Ranger as to the Colorado for price point, I think you're going to get more bang for your buck in the Colorado just because of powering and towing capacity. And the same goes for the Tacoma. Tacoma's the TRD Pro is in your $60,000 or $70,000 price range. I will say that this was a 2024 model. It was left over, so I got a really good deal. I can't really complain about that. It's not necessarily the ZR2. I would have loved to have had that possibly, but after looking at some of the specs, I would have lost towing capacity with that model because of the off-road capabilities. Sure, the off-road capabilities would have been nice, but I'm going to be towing with this vehicle. That was the whole intention, well, one of the intentions of the vehicle, to be able to tow the car to and from the track. I have already replaced the interior lights, just some small things with some LEDs. I got some reverse tail lights that are LEDs, and I do have a bed cover coming to hopefully maybe get just a smidgen more mile per gallon. I don't know if it'll do much. It may. I've read both ways that sometimes you'll lose mile per gallon and sometimes you actually will gain. So I guess we'll test that and see. Otherwise, though, I feel like it'll be helpful going to the track, or maybe just, you know, carrying certain things and having that extra bed space that is waterproof. So for me, that's just going to be helpful overall. I do need to get some side steps. You know, I think that's going to be handy, but I'm not going to get anything that's going to get too much or take away too much of the ground clearance, because again, I will be off-roading the vehicle and I don't want to lose that. So I wanted something that was more type of your rock top guard side step, something that was kind of up closer to the body. But I felt like that may also protect the body as well. I have went ahead and I haven't ceramic coated the vehicle per se. I've used some spray ceramic coating just to give it some type of protectant. It did not come with any on it, which the dealership protected anyways is not helpful or beneficial. But I do feel like that this that I used is Meguiar's. It's just the spray ceramic coat. I did have good luck with it on the WRX, and I've used it on the Mustang. It has helped. Though eventually I do plan to do some ceramic coating myself before I get too many miles on it, before I get too much wear on the paint. A ceramic coating that I had on my WRX, I think it was Armor Shield. I had it on for about 4 years, and it actually done really well. I probably had it on a year too long before I should have actually recoated that car. But I think they've actually done a little bit better with their formulation here recently from what I've read. I don't know. It's just a long process. It's about, I think, 10 or 11 hours to do it from start to end. Whereas the spray ceramic coating, you know, takes just about the same time as it would be a wash and dry car. But it seems to be helpful. The time I took it off-roading, the mud did not stick. It washed right off. You know, it was very helpful in that sense. Just something very quick to be able to have some protected on the vehicle. But anyways, I hope that you all enjoy the clips of me driving up to White Top Mountain, some of the gorgeous views. This is in Virginia, between the Virginia and North Carolina border. I hope that you all stay around. If you have not subscribed, please do so. There'll be a lot more content coming up to Colorado. I'll be taking the Mustang to tow, or attempt to tow, at the end of May to Barber Motorsports Park. And I'll also be going to Road Atlanta in June. So it'll be one weekend I'll be going to Barber Motorsports Park, and the next weekend I'll be going to Road Atlanta. So the truck's going to get its use for towing. We'll see how it does, and I think that it'll do just fine. But again, enjoy the clips. See you all in the next video.